Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to be talking about a senior gameplay designer, Andrzej Zawadzki, leaving CDPR after 8 years. Now, I didn't know when that initially happened. I had people actually telling me that Andrzej left the studio and that he's no longer a part of CDPR. I went actually to Twitter, because I am not on Twitter. I left that cesspool to see if it's actually true, and sadly there was a tweet from Andrzej saying that after 8 years he's actually leaving CDPR and he's embarking on a new adventure. Now, there are some misconceptions and some rumors and just some bad information that's out there that I want to get clear first. At first, I actually saw people saying that he was the reason why Cyberpunk is like that he was the reason why the game changed when Keanu came in, because he wanted to change it. That's not absolutely the case. His job description and what his role was at CDPR, being a lead gameplay designer and then senior gameplay designer, which was the last position he had at CDPR, he cannot make that decision. He cannot make a decision to hire or bring Keanu Reeves, which requires an investment of millions to have that person work on your game or to be a part of your game. So obviously, from his position, he cannot make that decision. So at first, no, he was not the reason why that happened. Second of all, they said that he was the reason why the game came out like that, which is absolutely not the truth. You had 900 people working on CDPR, which is a huge pyramid of responsibilities of different sectors, different divisions, different teams that are working on different things. And pointing out one person, saying that one person and he is responsible for all of that is just lazy, and it's not how it goes on projects of these size. That's absolutely not the case. So what does this mean? Well, first off, there are two possibilities on why Andrzej left. Possibility number one is that he decided to leave CDPR even before the game came out. He has his own reasons on why he left CDPR. So that could be a planned thing that he said that he's gonna do after the game comes out. Because usually in these kind of companies and in these kind of projects, you have, people who are gonna be working on one project, and when that project is done, they're gonna be moving to a different company or, doing something else, who knows. That was also the case after The Witcher 3 came out. You had people actually leaving the studio. They just finished up the project and they went out to start on a different project. Now, the second possibility is that he didn't agree with the studio, that that was just enough, from him, because when Cyberpunk was delayed, there were actual death threats to developers. And I know that people who do that is just a small minority. I know that people are saying, like, if you disagree with the game, you don't have to send death threats, and they don't. Majority of people who disagree with the game, who have their criticism of the game and of RPG elements and AI, etc., they're just having criticisms about the game. They're obviously not sending death threats to developers. That's just a small minority of people who shouldn't be allowed to use the internet. But anyway, obviously that could be the second case. Now, so far, this is just he said, she said. And I already had people coming up to me with all kinds of theories on why that happened. Look, we don't know that. We don't know until or if Andrzej ever speaks about that. And I actually know Andrzej from Twitter. I've been following him, for a very long time, since the game was actually being developed and all of that. And he's a really cool guy. He's actually a really cool guy, and I'm actually sad to see him leave CDPR, because I believe he was a valuable asset to CDPR, but also I'm happy for him because I'm excited to see what Andrzej is going to be working on in the future and where he's going to land and what's going to happen. So let's talk about CDPR now. What does this mean? I already had people saying, like, is this the end of CDPR? You had a guy leaving. No, not really. If CDPR does go into even more trouble, it's not going to be about Andrzej, but it's obviously a worrying thing when you have people who were working at a company for 8 years leave the company. It's always a sign that, alright, maybe we should, think about what we're doing. Maybe we need to reorganize our company so that in the future we don't make the same mistakes. That could be one of the alerts that a company should have. It's like, Okay. And usually when you have one person, especially in his position, leave, you usually have more people leave. And that's something we're probably going to see in the upcoming months, when contracts end, whatever happens. We'll see about that. And when it comes to responsibilities and when it comes to pointing fingers on who is responsible for this or that, you know how it usually goes in tech companies or generally in these kind of projects? So you have the CEO and you have the management who has to keep the investors happy. They need the money. They don't want to have investors pulling out. That's not good. So you're gonna have an investors call and you're gonna have CEO or whoever, and they're gonna investors are gonna ask, so what's gonna happen with this? What's gonna happen with this schedule? Do you have this? Do you have that? And then the CEO is going to say, oh yeah, we have that. Oh yeah, the game is ready. We're gonna be ready in 3 months. And then that same CEO goes back to his team and says, look, we gotta finish this in 3 months. Like, you gotta do it. And then you had, you know, team leads, you have senior members of the team, etc., trying to finish something. And then in 3 months, you come back to your CEO or to head of the studio, whoever, and then you say, look, this is what we were able to do in 3 months. This is just way too much time. Like, what? There are mistakes here. The game is not polished. What's going on? And then they say, like, and they look at this and they're like confused why the game is not ready or why any project is not ready. And that's that lack of time. That's those commitments and those, how would I say, things CEOs like to do that just to please their investors. They like to sugarcoat everything. They like to say, yeah, this is definitely gonna be good, this is gonna be done, because they have to please the investors. And usually developers are the one who have to pay the price. So blaming this or that, or blaming Andrzej for anything is absolutely not a case here, and it shouldn't be the case. So that's somewhat my opinion on what I think about this. Is it a good sign that Andrzej left? No, it's not a good sign. Definitely, it's not a good sign. What's gonna happen in the future with CDPR? Only CDPR knows that. I don't know that. No one knows that. We'll have to wait and see what's gonna happen with CDPR. Obviously, these upcoming patches are gonna be extremely important for them. The most important patches they will release in their life. But we'll see who else is gonna leave. I do feel sad about it, but at the same time, if people are gonna feel better working on other projects, and if he is gonna feel better, because he took a lot of breaks from Twitter, actually, I guess, obviously you have a lot of weight on your shoulders when you're developing a game which has this hype. You have a lot of people asking questions, you have a lot of people who don't know how games are being made and who does what kind of a job in a company, you know, going after people, which is just stupid in my opinion. So yeah, the game has its issues. So is that a reason for death threats? Is that a reason to go full berserk? I mean, people have more important issues right now in 2021 than a video game. Let's face it. It does suck. It does absolutely suck. And it's like these web of flies and everything which was happening at CDPR and those investor calls, like, they screwed a lot of people up. So hopefully in the future those things are gonna change, but we'll see. I don't know. But I'm definitely just saying, like, good luck to Andrzej. I'm definitely looking forward to see his future work and what he's gonna be working on, and we'll see what's gonna happen with CDPR. And no, this is not just a sign, oh no, god, the ship is sinking. Those things happen after a project, but again, we'll see what's gonna happen. So tell me down below, what do you think about this? And stay civil, because I don't know, I just like to ban people who are insulting other people. Let's have a civil conversation down here if we can, and that's gonna be it. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna be waiting on this update, see what's gonna happen with that, and we'll see what's gonna happen with the studio. Again, thank you for watching. Please click that like and subscribe button if you want to stay updated and if you want to help the channel in an extra way. Also, I am on Odyssey, which is a YouTube alternative if you want to check me out there, and I'm actually on Patreon if you want to support the channel in an extra way. You can do it through there, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out for the 5th time, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.